How are you doing, guys? Finally back on after a week away in Tenerife. Had a bit of a nightmare with my emails. Took my laptop with, hopefully to try and flip some deals, which I did do a few. But I had a problem with emails and internet, and some of my emails were going missing. I wasn't receiving some emails on my laptop. I was on my phone, so I was basically running my whole business off my mobile phone, which was a little bit tricky. How you doing, guys? So, although it is day 21 of the 60-day pallet flipping challenge, I'm just going to give you a bit of a recap because I did miss doing some videos on YouTube for day 14, 15, 18. So just a bit of a recap on what's been happening sort of the last several days. So back when I was in Tenerife last week, on day 14 and 15, I made £2,100, £2,100 profit. One of the deals I did was on some gloves, some nitrile gloves, like, have I got any here? I used to have some lying around, some disposable gloves anyway. So yeah, I moved some disposable gloves, which made £1,250. And I made a finder's fee as well, which was basically a deal on some tea bags. It was a retail box of tea bags. And so here's the thing with anything food or drink related. I work with one or two contacts, and this one contact that I have is a very long-term contact of mine, and basically I just pass him deals or any surplus that I get offered, any surplus pallets of anything that is food or drink related, anything in the food and drink industry that I get offered from companies, I literally just forward those deals to him. He is in the surplus industry, but he is very niche, and all he buys and sells are food and drink deals. Whereas I'm very general, I buy and sell anything and everything. This contact of mine, he's in the surplus business, but all he makes money with is buying and selling food, pallets and truckloads of food products, beverages, drinks, etc. So I thought, okay, I've got this offer on a load of tea bags. I'll just forward him that offer. And he said, yeah, I can do something with these. And so I let him do all the work. And that's the great thing about the finder's fees business, is that you take a lot of time and a lot of pressure off yourself, because you don't have to do much work. You literally just give that deal to someone else, someone who has their own customers, someone who's maybe an expert in their industry. They've got their connections. They know that industry inside out. So I just pass those deals to him a lot of the time anyway, and I let him do the deal. I'll connect him with the seller. I connected him with the seller of these tea bags. I let the seller and my contact do the deal. Okay, they do the deal. They do the transaction. They do everything. And I just sit back and do nothing. And he just messaged me and said, send me an invoice for £850. That's the profit you've made on this deal. And I just invoiced. So we just split the profit in half. That's how we do it, because we've been doing business together for many years. So, my contact will do the deal. He'll pay for the goods. He'll collect the goods and deliver them to his customer and get paid, and he will just give me half the profit. And what have I done? All I've done is just pass him that deal. I've just forwarded on email. I've clicked forward and send him the details. That's all I've done to make £850. Guys, the easiest way to make money in this business without getting involved in that deal yourself is by just connecting people. That's it. And making your cut in between. So I did that, and so yeah, that was day 14 and 15, and I was just sat in the sun by the beach or pool last week. Around this time last week, yeah. It was actually around this time last week. And so I did nothing apart from receive the offer of some goods from a company, and I just clicked forward and sent it to my food contact. Let him do all the legwork. Let him do all the heavy lifting. And I just sat back, let him take care of it. And I made £850 finder's fee. So yeah, over day 14 and 15 I made £2,100. And basically in between, though the following days last week I was literally just doing a bit of work on a morning and a bit of work on a night. The usual stuff, just reaching out to businesses on email, doing bulk emails to my lists of connections with my letter, just emailing, have you got any surplus? Have you got any excess? Have you got any slow moving pallets of goods in your warehouse that you want to get rid of? I was just reaching out to business and building my pipeline of surplus offers. By the time I reached day 18, which was late last week, yeah. Again, I was offered some beers, some short expiry date beers. And here's the cool thing about beers is that it's a great market for short expiry date beers, even expired beers. And there's a lot of beer companies around that you can find. And think about it. There's beer manufacturers, there's beer importers, there's beer distributors, there's beer wholesalers, there's beer retailers, there's beer, warehouses, cash and carries. There's lots of different types of beer companies dealing in their own brands or other people's brands. It's just a massive, massive industry. And there's always a lot of pallets of beer sitting in warehouses that basically become, let's say, issues with the expiry dates on those beers. Because as the time starts running out on those beers, it's very hard for that company to start to sell them, because not many of their customers want to buy beers with an expiry date that's becoming very low. It's running out of date. So that's when they start offering that type of stuff to companies like mine. So I found some beers. It was about 9 pallets of beers. About to go out of date, about to expire. Again, I passed that deal on to my food and drink contact, let him take care of that deal, and I made £715 finder's fee on that deal. Alright, so that was last week. So yeah, that was sort of getting on for nearly £3,000 last week. Back in today, Monday, I've had a few... Sorry, it's not Monday, it's Thursday. Yeah, so this week has been really hard. I've got a lot going on. This is what happens in this game. You can have a lot of deals going on, meaning a lot of offers coming through from businesses offering their surplus goods. And then I'm offering them out to my network of buyer connections, and we're getting into conversations, we're communicating there and back. There's a lot of offers coming through. I've sent out 25 offers, and I've just sent out another 20 today. 45 to 50 deals this week on the go. But it's one of those days. It's one of those times, and this happens in our game where you can have like 2, 3, 4 days where you're very busy on all these deals, but you're just not getting a deal over the line. You're just not making a deal happen. It's just not sticking. You're throwing a lot of mud at the wall, but it's just not sticking. And, you're discussing prices, and the reasons why deals just are not happening immediately is either the seller who's selling the goods is just not very negotiable on the price, so they won't come down on price. And the buyers who are interested are making an offer on those goods. They're offering me a price. They're saying, look, we'll pay this. And I'm trying to go back to my seller to buy it cheaper, but I just can't get them down on price. Or it could just be deals that we're just not getting any interest on. And that's it. We're just not getting interest. And you can go several days, even a week, even several weeks it can happen at times, where you're just working on a lot of things, but you're just not completing a deal. You're just not getting a deal over the line and, putting that deal to bed and making your profit. You're just working on stuff and you've nearly done a deal. It's nearly about to happen. You think it's going to happen and it doesn't happen. And there's little obstacles that you got to overcome before a deal happens. And I've gone this week without a deal. And then, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I'm thinking, I'm starting to get frustrated. And even after all these years, I'm still, when I haven't done deals for several days, I'm thinking, what's going on? I've got so much going on. Why isn't a deal happening? And you get frustrated. It's like waiting for a bus. Nothing happens, and then all of a sudden, a deal happens out of the blue, or 2 or 3 happen out of the blue. Like waiting for a bus. All of a sudden, 2 or 3 buses come at once. It's like that. It's like that in our industry. It's crazy. So today, I'm thinking, is a deal going to happen this week or what? So finally, from some offers that I sent out yesterday, there was a deal on some headsets, wireless headsets. The type that people use in offices for, like, to speak to people on Skype or Zoom. And these were refurbs. Refurbs means they've been refurbished. They're like used, but they've been refurbished. Like they've been cleaned up. They might have new parts fitted, and they're all checked to be in working condition. So they're not brand new and sealed goods. They've been used. They're like second hand, but they've been refurbished. And the refurb industry is massive in electronics. A lot of electronics goods can be refurbs, like laptops, like computers, PCs, like tablets. Like Apple tablets. All sorts of stuff, refurbs. There's a lot of refurbs, and they get graded. They can be graded. But basically, the bottom line is, they might not be in their original box, in original retail box, but they've been checked by a proper company who checks them and tests them, makes sure they're in working condition, and tidies them up, repacks them with all the accessories that come with them, maybe the chargers or whatever, the plugs or whatever, the leads, and then they're sold as refurbs, not brand new. They're sold as a refurb. All right, so I bought 600 refurbished headsets, wireless headsets, and I offered them out last night, and a buyer offered me, he made an offer that was a bit under what I wanted, and I went back to the seller and made them an offer, and it was agreed, and it made £2,200 out of, great deal after not doing a deal for 3 days, 2 or 3 days. So that's today, day 21, Thursday, the 1st of Feb. Hopefully tomorrow I'm working on a few other good deals that hopefully will come to fruition, and I'll get a few deals over the line. I'm working on a big clothing deal, on a brand name clothing deal, like an outdoor clothing brand. I'm working on a garden product, some weed moss killer, like a 5 litre tub. There's several other deals, but like I say, I've got a lot of deals on the go in the pipeline at the minute. There's loads happening, which is great. I've emailed a lot of businesses over the last 2 or 3 days to see what else I can find, any new deals. So I've got new deals coming through. So it's all good. It's all busy, proactive, all looking good. Working on a good deal with a student that I sent a sample out to, that he's showing to a big retail company. And hopefully we can get the go-ahead on that deal, and that's going to be a good deal. That's going to make over 5 figures in profit, guys. So that's going to be a great one. Hopefully I can announce that one soon. But yeah, that's day 21. And glad to get a deal done today, a deal over the line. So yeah, well pleased. All right, guys, I will see you again very soon for day 22. All the best.